You guys haven't noticed, we've transformed our town hall today with some black and orange, capturing a bit of Halloween Town's spooky vibe. And just taking a look around, this could be the perfect haunt for creeping skeletons, swirling bats, and even Jack Skellington himself. A big thank you to Patricia Ventura Parra for today's hauntingly festive background. But don't get too spooked. To lighten the eerie air, we've invited a special guest, a comedian with tricks and treats guaranteed to get you cackling. During the next segment, feel free to unmute your microphones and join in on the fun. We'd love to hear all your laughs and reactions. So sit back, relax, if you dare, and prepare for a town hall filled with laughs, a little mischief, and some tricky trivia. Now, let's give a bone-rattling welcome as we kick off our fourth hauntingly hilarious Halloween town hall with none other than Collin Moulton. Over to you, Collin.
Yay!
Hello, everybody. It's me. Are you ready? Can I hear you?
Yeah.
Let me hear you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Everybody.
I
I miss you. This is not my first Halloween with you guys. I've done a few.
Yeah.
And I had to work pretty hard to come up with some good new stuff, so I had to come up with a theme for this one. But first, I want to say this: Johnny Depp did Sleepy Hollow, which is actually only the second scariest thing he ever did that was televised. The first thing, of course, was his trial with Amber Heard, which was pretty spooky. But the theme I came up with today, I thought, we've covered a lot of Halloween type stuff, but I thought, what's the scariest theme we could come up with? And I settled on mental health. That's horrifying to me right now. I'm 53. So it's all coming down the pike. So hopefully we're all triggered enough for this. I wanted to dress as neurodivergence, but I couldn't come up with a costume that was avoidant enough. So I just dressed as a witch, because at my house, it's kind of synonymous right now. All right. I'm discovering that Halloween is driven entirely by phobias and fears. Without phobias, if you think about it, Halloween is just a really disastrous fashion show. And some of these phobias, like this one, I'm dressed as a witch, and this triggers a phobia called Wiccaphobia, which is a fear of witches and witchcraft. And if you remember your history, we all got a healthy dose of that in the late 1600s with the Salem witch trials, which by definition, the Salem witch trials were a lot like marriage, because it's just a colossal misunderstanding that if successful, ends in death. Till death do us part. But let's talk about these phobias. These are the most important parts of Halloween, or the phobias, because we got to trigger them to get the scare, right? So we're all scared of something. We're all scared of spiders, or government, or clowns in the government, or you name it, just everything. And here we go. Papaphobia, if you've ever heard of that, that's fear of the Pope, which I think is kind of regional if you think about it, because we don't see the Pope. Like, nobody in Iowa has papaphobia. And really, I think it's really more just traffic phobia, because it's probably centralized to the Vatican City. You're just going to get coffee, and then you see the bubble car and the guy in the hat, and you're like, oh, man, I'm never going to get my coffee. I'm going to be here for 6 hours. So I think it's related to traffic phobia. Lipophobia, which is fear of becoming fat, which I think we all kind of have. It's why we go to the gym. It's why we try to take care of our bodies. But that's a big one. Get it? It's a big one. But now we can't call it that. We call it brave. It's very brave. Look, he's eating cake for breakfast. That's so brave, because he's overcoming his phobias, I think. So dendrophobia, that's fear of trees, which is dendrophobia, which is not to be confused with dandrophobia, which is also known as grandpa phobia, or weird uncle phobia, or in some cases, Mitch McConnell phobia. So lobophobia is fear of werewolves. So that brings to mind the fact that a lot of these phobias are just natural selection. We're all supposed to have these phobias to be able to survive. I don't think anybody who didn't have lobophobia, that's fear of a person who becomes a wolf at the full moon and then eats your neighbor. If you didn't have that phobia, I don't believe you didn't live long enough to have children. So I think everybody has that phobia. So that's why it's a great costume for this year, if you're interested in doing that. But I want to quote my daughter right now because this is all about the kids. Halloween's always about the kids. And my daughter, my 7-year-old, on the way to school today, she said, after a long silence, she'd been thinking, and she said, and you know when a 7-year-old's thinking, you're like, this is gonna be good. she said, "This year, Dad, I'm not gonna be afraid of people who try to cut my head off." And I thought, that's not healthy. You should be afraid of that. You should have that phobia. And my biggest phobia is not being as smart as my kids, because it's a pretty clever thing to say. But I think, I don't know if I've covered this. My wife and I have 3 kids, and we're thinking about actually having less kids. Because we have what's called teenagers, if you know what that is. There's a whole bunch of phobias around that. And we want to thin the herd. But the only reason we have so many kids is because my wife is a warrior. Can we just clap for a second for women and just give it up for them for sacrificing their bodies for the family? That's amazing to me that my wife has done that. I'm not pandering. I just feel for her. My wife has had 3 children through her body. As a result, she can't go on trampolines without peeing her pants. And I don't think that's fair.
Sounds like pandering to me.
Yeah, no roller coasters, no parachuting. She's not gonna parachute, right? Not skydiving. She'd pee up there too. Look, a rainbow. No, that's the mommy and me parachute class. Everybody up there peeing. If it was up to guys, think about it. If it was just us, AJ, Jacques, and Peter, and these guys here, if it was up to us to give life, there'd be nobody on the planet. We wouldn't survive as a species. We can't handle that kind of pressure. If you told a guy that after 3 kids he couldn't go bowling without dumping in his drawers, there'd be nobody on the planet. Like, guys, I'd love to play pickleball with you, but I don't want to poop in my shoes again, man. We just had a kid, you know. So I'm just too old. The thing is, too, you say the age of your kids, and people always say the same thing. Doesn't matter the age. They're like, that's a great age. That's a great age. Like, really? Is it? For what? For what? Not landscaping. Never landscaping. I'll tell you that from personal experience. I've been through the terrible twos 3 times. I've yet to see the take the trash out teens. Looks like that's never going to happen. I just feel warm inside knowing my son is careening directly into the wipe your dad's butt 50s, and I'm going to make it so dirty. Get in here, son. I got it on the walls again. We're bonding.
Oh my God.
I took the trash out, buddy. I'm just too old to be having kids at this point. At 50, I woke up 20 minutes before my Achilles tendons this morning. They were working when I went to bed. And I got phlegm. Do you guys have the phlegm? Have you heard this on a Zoom call when you log in with these guys? Every once in a while you'll hear an unmuted guy go. It's not even phlegm. It's just words we should have said yesterday, lodged in shame or something. And I got to wear these now because 5 years ago my eyes decided they'd seen enough. They just quit. They quit. I used to recognize everybody in my house. Now I have to put on reading glasses just to open mouth kiss my own wife because I don't want. There's dogs in my. I don't want to get parvo just because I like my wife, or accidentally make out with the nanny. I think that happens all the time if you watch the news. Guys run away with the nanny. Midlife crisis, right? They run away with the nanny. Same time in life they lose their eyesight. Coincidence? Maybe not. Isn't it possible 20% of those guys didn't notice that was the nanny until they were in Cabo? Honey, I'm having a blast. I didn't know you liked kayak. Oh, the nanny. No. I got to call my wife. Honey, I forgot my readers. I'm with the nanny again. Or my cheaters. Is that why you call them cheaters? Probably. I'm just too old to be doing all this. I'm ready for the dementia. It's coming. And I don't care. I'm ready. There's some people I want to forget. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
I feel like that's how you win the game, you know? When that abhorrent old dude stumbles up to you, you remember me? You're like, nope, not at all. You're dead to me. Literally, probably in 2 weeks. And my mom, so I took care of my mom in her last years of life, and she had what's called wet brain dementia, which is what you get from drinking wine through cardboard for more than 4 decades, I guess, technically. and I was there for her, and she had these dementia gives you this like this is why another reason I'm looking forward to it. It gives you this like clarity of thought and this sensitivity to simplicity that of the simplicity of a child, and it's beautiful in some ways. It made her a genius. Like one day she couldn't remember who I was, and I was sitting with her, and I started talking about my kids, and she goes, "Oh, I always wanted to have kids." And I said, what? I am your kid. And she goes, "Oh, well, that's wonderful because I really like you." I was like, "Oh, Mom, that's the nicest thing you ever said to me." Is it because you don't know who I am? I'm really conflicted now. And then I told her about her other kids. I said, "Hey, you had 4 kids." And I told her all about it. She was over the moon. She was like, "I had 4 kids?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "That's amazing." And then she sat there thinking, and we're sitting in an assisted living. And then she said the sweetest and kind of saddest thing. She goes, "Wow, children are like mosquitoes. They're all around you, and then you can't find them anywhere." I was like, "Oh, Mom." So I bit her, you know. I wanted her to know I was there for her, you know. If I ever wanted her to come back to reality, I would just say my dad's name, because hate is a powerful motivator. And so I said one time, I said his name, and she goes, "Ah, yes, your father, a brilliant man with stupid ideas." I was like, "Wow, you didn't even know what day it was. You nailed that one." That's exactly what he was, and he had a great sense of humor, man. That guy. I took care of him in his last years. If you ever take care of an old man in his final years, you've gotten this phone call more than once. It's an urgent phone call about something that's not urgent. He would call me and, "Collie," my favorite example. I got a cactus. You gotta help me get this cactus in the ground. We gotta get it in the ground. You gotta help me transplant it. We gotta get it in the ground. I was like, "Dad, it's a cactus." "I know it. You just gotta get it in the ground." So I was, all right. Well, calm down. What kind of cactus is it? He says, "It's a danger cactus." I said, "A danger cactus?" "Yeah, it's a danger. I don't know. They don't tell me everything. Just give me that. I gotta get the thing in the ground." So I show up there. At first, I look it up. I can't find danger cactus anywhere. I'm looking it up, danger cactus. I call nurseries. They're like, "I don't know what a danger cactus is." Nobody knew. So I show up, and I go, "Take me to the cactus." And he takes me to this backyard. He's got his cactus. His neighbor's giving it to him. It's a big old cactus. It's wrapped in tinfoil, and it says in marker right on it in Sharpie, "Danger cactus." And I look over and he's laughing at me. He goes, "Get it? Danger cactus?" I was like, "Yeah, I get it. That's 48 hours I'm never getting back, old man." Thanks. That is how we win the game. We sneak out on them. So yeah, listen, I don't want to overdo this because we got some trivia, but I got to tell you this. One of my biggest fears is to be unclean. So I have whatever that phobia is. So I bought a bidet. I think it's non-bidet phobia. I love my bidet. I don't know if you guys have one. It's my favorite thing in the world right now. I love this thing. And I can't get my kids to use it. Have you ever tried to convince children to hose off their buttholes? The whole conversation feels illegal, even if they're your kids. But I had to do something because one of my kids thought it was a water fountain. The little one. I was like, "No, not your face, not your face." So when I looked them up, there was these expensive ones, and I was like, "Man, maybe I'll get an expensive one." And then I found a cheap one, and I actually recommend the expensive one because, wow, no pressure control on my bidet. That's a real problem. Level 1 is level 2 is like tile removal. I took out a wasp's nest that's been there for 3 years at the front of my house. You can break up a nonviolent protest with a well-aimed bidet. Did you know that? Actually, if I laugh while I'm using my bidet, it comes out of my nose, which is a problem. So that's my biggest fear, being unclean. Thank you guys for having me. Happy Halloween. Stay clean.
I have a bidet. So I know what he's talking about.
All right, let's do some trivia. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We got some good ones this year. We got a couple repeats because they were just too good to pass up. But we got some good new ones. I'm gonna start you off. So get ready. There's no prizes, so work hard for this. It's like life. Here we go. What's the most popular Halloween candy in the world? What's the most popular Halloween candy? Hint, hint. It is not bourbon cordials, Jacques. What do you think? Okay, just, don't yell it out. But we'll give you a second. Everybody got their answer logged? Anybody want to say what it is? You can chime in.
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
Candy corn is incorrect.
Oh,
What?
oops.
Snickers bars.
Reese's.
Reese's peanut butter cups
you
for
go.
the win.
Thank
Blake.
goodness.
All right, I have a related question. What is Jacques' most favorite Halloween candy?
Oh.
Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Rolls,
Roll.
because it
Oh.
ends with S, like his
Working.
not French name. All right. What was the original name for candy corn? And by the way, the original name was actually the very first name. The first person to ever eat it called it, what the hell is this? But then they changed it to something more marketable. So what was the name?
Gross.
Chicken
Gross
feed.
was the second name. Third name, the one that stuck.
Chicken feed.
Chicken feet. It is chicken feet. If you got chicken feet, you're a winner. Number 3, what was the original? No, sorry. Number 3 is how many bones in the human adult body,
206.
approximately, in case you want to be an authentic skeleton this year?
206.
238.
206.
We got 238. We got 206. Peter, was that you?
14.
What a
was
stud. It is 206 exactly. However, it is give or take because I've met some people that have 205 because they lack a backbone. All right. What was the original ghost wearing? Why was the original ghost wearing white sheets? What was the origin of the original ghost wearing white sheets? What was the origin of ghosts wearing white sheets? This is a trickier one. And although the origin is not the scariest people who wore white sheets, it's something way earlier,
Lazy parents.
but also dead from the neck up.
Laundry day.
Does anybody know the origin? Laundry day, somebody put. That's a good guess. Laundry day. Lack of originality of parents. Nope. It is mummies. If you have mummies, you are a winner. Mummies, mark it down as a win.
Oh.
Who was Ichabod Crane, the tall, skinny character? And this is a hint here. Now, hang on before you answer. Not the center for the 1964 Celtics. Does anybody want to say it? Johnny Depp. Exactly. No, it was Ichabod Crane from Sleepy Hollow. Okay. What is the title of the iconic Halloween book by Ray Bradbury? This is a good one because I had to really research this one because I didn't know anything about it. I know Fahrenheit 451 is not it. If that was your answer. It wasn't scary enough. Does anybody have an answer? Do you have your answers logged? It is Halloween Tree, the Halloween Tree, which also became a 1993 movie for kids. And I think the working title for that movie when they made it was called Box Office Mistake. So, but they changed it to Halloween Tree. So especially for our Washington, D.C. folks, this is number 8. The ghost of what animal, according to the legend, lives in the basement of the U.S. Capitol building and appears before historic events? What animal? The ghost of what animal? Not a particular animal, a type of animal.
Horse.
Does anybody know that one? We got turkey,
A rat.
a rat. There are rats down there, but they're alive.
They were also elected.
They're also elected. I love it. Yeah, that's my brand of humor, buddy. Bring it. All right. It's cats, but I think they're not ghosts. I think they're just feral cats, and nobody's handled it in decades. Okay, this is my favorite one. What U.S. city was the Vampire Association formed to provide support for people who self-identified as vampires? Does anybody know that city? Hint,
New
it is
Orleans.
not Silicon Valley, which...
New Orleans.
What?
New Orleans.
It is New Orleans. That is the answer. That's right. It is New Orleans.
With the
And actually, back before Halloween, people who had self-identified as vampires were just called broke family members. Um, true or false? A candy company set up a vending machine in New York City where trick-or-treaters could trade in unwanted candy for Reese's peanut butter cups. True or false?
True.
True.
What do you got on that one, Jacques? You want to head up the game on that one?
I'll say true.
You're right on true, man. It is true, but they had to do away with it when people started trying to trade their kids for peanut butter cups.
I almost said Florida, but
Yeah, Florida. They probably have one now too. If on recent vacation in Portland, Oregon, could you see hundreds of witches and wizards paddleboarding on the Willamette River to celebrate Halloween? Yes or no?
Yes.
True.
Yes.
The answer is yes, and we will also give you partial credit if you put any other day of the year as well, because it's Portland, Oregon. Which Shakespearean play gives you the recipe? This is number 12. Which Shakespearean play gives you the recipe for a potion to make a witch's cauldron? What? Somebody already said it?
Hamlet.
It is Cats.
Oh, Macbeth.
It is Cats. And if you're old enough to know that, you probably don't remember it. And nobody's probably seen it in a long time. It's Macbeth is the answer. If you got Macbeth, you are correct. Is a pumpkin, this is a good one, is a pumpkin a fruit or a vegetable? Jacques.
It is a vegetable.
It is not a vegetable, Jacques. It is a fruit. And in California, it's actually a meat.
I would have, in California, I would have thought it might be a nut.
It's a nut. It's a nut and a meat. Yes, it's a nut meat. Okay, that's a good guess. True or false? For Halloween, does the candy Kit Kats come in glow-in-the-dark wrappers?
No.
No, false.
False.
Oh, nope, that one's true because Kit Kats are awesome and they're trying to vie for that favorite candy position.
Oh.
That's a true one. If Alan Kimball, this is 15, if Alan Kimball were to make a Halloween drink, what might he add to make it spooky? And the answer is not blood.
Dry ice.
Dry ice. That is the answer. Good job. Number 16, which magician and escape artist died on Halloween? Hint, it is not Chris Angel Mind Freak because unfortunately he is still alive. So
Houdini.
It is Houdini, yes. All right, 17, we're getting toward the end here, so make sure you keep your score straight. Which was the first president to decorate the White House for Halloween?
Trump.
Huh? No. Well, Trump, yeah. So,
Truman.
No.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Well, he made it a little oranger, yeah, but no. Yeah. Nope. This is a good one. You guys don't got it? You don't have it? Jacques, you there?
I'll go with FDR. I don't know.
Nope. Real down to earth dude, though. It was,
Lincoln.
I guessed FDR. It was actually Eisenhower. It was Eisenhower. Yeah. And actually, there's a debate on this because some people think that it was actually decorated the first time in 1812 when it was actually on fire. And that would have been Madison. 17. Which was the, oh, wait, that was 17. Okay, so here we go. 18, sorry. Now we're down to the last three. 18, this is an easy one. In Britain, was the 1600s jack-o'-lantern referred to as a night watchman carrying a lantern named Jack? Yes or no?
No.
Everything is yes. True.
Everything's been yes so far, and it's yes again. It is yes. It is, he was yep, and his name was Jack, and it was his first job, actually, because shortly after that, he stowed away on the Titanic. And that'll inform this next question. Do pumpkins float?
Yes.
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 Yes, they do because they're 90% water, which is ironic because Jack did not. Okay. Number 20. This is the final one, and then I'm going to miss you guys for a long time. I love you. What is the most popular dog costume in the United States?
Spider.
What is it?
Spider.
Spider's a good guess. No.
No. A vampire.
It's Jacques.
Yeah. Yes.
Hot dog.
Hot dog's awesome. No. It's actually it's pumpkin. At my house, though, it's pumpkin. That's the one. And then I'm going to give you a bonus question. But at my house, the most popular dog costume is, in fact, pillow or throw rug, because I have the laziest 4 dogs in the nation. They wear it all year. But here's the The bonus question, final question, and I want to say goodbye to you guys now. Thank you very much. I love you. The final question is, what is Buddy in a Halloween costume, and if so, what?
He is, yes.
The pumpkin.
He is a black pumpkin. The most popular costume is pumpkin, and he's a black pumpkin. So give it up for Buddy and give it up for our crew. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jacques. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
See you later,
Colin.
everybody.
It's
Happy
awesome.
Halloween.